Let's jump into it. We just finished Dresden. Had our little post speech with the Queen. We killed Staunton Vane. Monago got away. I don't even know if it's an option to kill her there. And we got our first dedicated, like, specific mythic path. Okay. So what's inside? Okay. Mysterious stranger. A tall, lean man enters the hall. He has dark hair, pointed ears, and his pale skin is covered in intricate tattoos. At first glance, it would be easy to mistake him for an elf. If his eyes were not so unusual, they're not just dark, this is common among elves, but entirely black and devoid of life. As you stare into the empty nothingness, it is as if the abyss itself is staring back at you. His face seems familiar. You look more closely and realize you saw this stranger during the assault on the Grey Garrison. Back then, he laughed at the prank you played on the cultists with the barrels of explosives and then disappeared. Commander Drast, the visitor seems to take pleasure in the sound of your name, caressing each syllable with his black tongue and licking his pierced lips suggestively before offering you a charming smile. Who are you? Who I am doesn't matter right now. What matters is who you are. I've been watching you for a long time. Since the day you began your journey to the heights of glory. You still have a long way to go before you reach the pinnacle. What if I could help you take the next step? Some very powerful and wise beings will soon be holding a meeting of the council where they will decide what is to be done about the world wound. You would be a welcome guest at this meeting. What council? No. Save all the questions for the council. The walls have ears after all. Please join us and we will explain everything. When you're ready, look in the closet in your chambers. Bidding you a farewell with a playful wink. The visitor vanishes into thin air. Middle-aged paladin with a genial face salutes you. His sparse gray hair stands in fuzzy tufts on his head, giving him a distinctly unwarlike appearance. Everbright Crusaders reporting for duty. My name is C.R. Coblin. Coblin? And I'm at your service. Queen Galfrey is gathering the main attack force in Nerosian. She ordered us to replenish the losses suffered in Canabras and come here. We will support your troops. A tall, dark-eyed lad is standing behind Sierra. He passionately echoes Sierra's words. We are ready to go to the front immediately. Allow us to be the spear at the head of the attack. Orveg, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't worry, no one will be defeating any demons without you. Who have you brought with you? Everbright Crusaders, mainly. We have a lot of volunteers who joined us. Those who arrived at the Queen's call but didn't want to sit in Nerosian, waiting for the main army to set off. All the hotheads know that the front is here. We picked up this one too. He walked to Canabras with an old sword in his hand and a few copper coins in his pocket. He was going to keep walking to kill the demons, and then he would probably have laid siege to the threshold, no doubt. The boy's cheeks go pink at the old man's gentle mockery. but he continued to stare ahead, resolutely and boldly. Did you fight in Canabras? How are things there? Not personally, no. The Queen summoned me, and the bulk of our order went to Nerosian. Almost all those who remained behind in Canabras died. The ones that didn't were disorganized and leaderless. But the order did not perish. New volunteers have been pouring into our ranks. We are licking our wounds. Canabras is rebuilding. Life wins out. People are coming from all over Aveston to help. Many are joining up with the Crusaders, just as it happened back in the First Crusade. Great. It's an honor for us, Commander. Let us give the demons a dusting. Okay. You're Beth. How's the Eagle Watch doing in Canabras? Everything's going well. I was wary of handing over the reins at first. I was afraid that everything would fall apart without Anevia and me. But I took a risk and left a very clever lad in charge, a tiefling, as it happens. He infiltrated the cult alone. They couldn't imagine a tiefling would be on their side. He exposed an entire cell. I personally knighted him just before the city was attacked. Of course, there were many who weren't happy about it. But it's not my job to make people happy. He hasn't disappointed. He built up the Order's ranks again and is running everything so smoothly. It's as if the demon attack never happened. He's proven more than once that I left Canabras in good hands. But I admit, it's still strange to think that such a small order as the Eagle's Watch now has 2 chapters, one in Dresden and one in Canabras. We need to talk about what happened during the attack. I was shamefully weak-hearted. The battle for Dresden is a black stain on my honor. I don't know what came over me, but I don't deserve to be a knight. Still less a commander. Under the circumstances, leaving my position would be tantamount to desertion. Still, as your advisor, I strongly recommend you release me from my position as head of the order, strip me of my knighthood, and send me to serve in the condemned. That suggestion is no better than desertion, except you want me to take the responsibility for it. I don't want to hear it. Join the ranks, knight, and fight as you swore to do. Yes, I swore. To the goddess and the queen, and now I'm not just letting myself down, but both of them. We will triumph. Definitely, we'll do everything we can, even if it's not much. Okay, Nevia. We figured out how the demons have been sneaking up on us. No dice. Our scouts crawled all over the area, down every hole, nothing. The gray road was completely empty, and then bam, a whole army popped up like a jack-in-the-box. My only lead is a few scouts who didn't come back from the gorges to the southwest. But we found no signs of secret paths or underground passageways. It's definitely no route we can take to quietly move a large force through. But I feel it in my gut. There's some evil scum out there. We just have to look harder. Of course, I could send out more scouts, but they might just disappear like the first ones. Why don't you go there yourself and find out what's what? What do you think of my new powers? I don't know what to think of all this. You're a total mystery to me. And I usually don't like mysteries, but you're different. Your crazy stunts somehow make me think that, just maybe, this whole nightmare might suddenly end by pure fluke, on a positive note. Okay. But I'm no expert in these things, but I think that's what hope feels like. Did you find out anything about where Monago is now? No. Zero. Zilch. Whole lot of nothing. The scum melted into thin air. Soldiers saw her jump out the window, run through the square in front of the citadel, and suddenly disappear. We haven't heard anything from her since. I don't like it. I'm telling you, this is bad. First of all, her kind just don't give up. If we can't see her, it means she's setting a trap for us somewhere. Somewhere we won't expect. I mean, it would be great if the demon lords just gobbled her up for all her failures, but I think that's too much to hope for. But that's not the worst part. We have a more interesting question, you know? Wonder how she teleported from the city, if by that time you've already hung the banner. The soldiers are saying it probably wasn't in full force by then, but you and I both know that's Dross. Dross? She wasn't supposed to be able to teleport, but she did. The question is, how? Alright, you watch yourself. Alright, so these are my quarters. I should have stayed before doing this, huh? The hell? The spacious room is immersed in darkness, and the only source of light comes from a round table at its center. A strange visitor who invited you here is sitting at the table, along with several other humanoid creatures and a hippogriff. They appear to be having an intense argument. Let us finally decide what we're going to do about the world wound, says a tall woman at the head with the head of a lion. She is dressed in white and a white and gold robe, and her amethyst-colored eyes gleam as she turns her stone gaze upon those who are to those present. Where am I? Those sitting at the table are so engrossed with their debate that they pay no attention to you. Only the stranger who invited you to this meeting gives you a warm smile and gestures for you to come closer. Purr. A hippogriff wearing a shiny mithril breastplate and blazoned with Abadar's key bangs the table resolutely with its clawed foreleg. Typical old cob. But you've suggested that this about 700 times. You can't just bring the army of the Axis here, there. Even if Abadar happens to allow it. All the other gods, not to mention the demonic and imperial lords, and perhaps even the eldest. All of them will want to take part in the brawl. The world wound has expanded once, and this plan will stretch the hole between the plains even wider than Nocticulus. Never mind. In short, the civilization you love so dearly would be pulverized into a bloody mess. Holes, bloody messes. Sakobenoth, why do you always need to say such horrible, nasty things? A dark-skinned Varandi woman purses her lips. She is draped in yellow silk, and white flowers are nestled in her shiny black hair. Look at things with more optimism. Why are you so certain? This is what will happen. There's always a chance things might change for the better. You must not lose hope. I think I agree with Chadali. Even if representatives of the different external planes from heaven to hell do come to the battle, it will be a great opportunity to sit them all down at the negotiating table. Then we can find a reasonable, peaceful solution to this old source of strife, as civilized beings should. I'm afraid, my dear Eritreus, they won't be in the mood to talk. Oh, look who's here. Look, we have a guest. This is the one I told you about. Commander Drast, leader of the current crusade. Don't you think it's time to listen to what the mortals have to say about this mess? Go on, speak. Share your opinion with us. Until now, we've been trying to overpower the demons without success. Maybe it's time to sit down at the negotiating table. That is a wise and well-considered suggestion. In the end, celestials and beasts are sitting at this table peacefully. Isn't this an example of the triumph of reason? Gathering the council is, of course, a great success. A pity it's our only success so far. Anyway, let's return to our guest. As you can see, he's an extraordinary person. We should have invited a mortal to the council from the very beginning. They could have helped us see things from a different perspective. Perhaps you are right. After all, mortals dwell in close proximity to the world wound and deal with it constantly. Maybe, despite their, shall we say, narrow outlook on life, the mortal brain is capable of conceiving an idea worthy of consideration. What does it matter if he has ideas? Just look how cute he is. He will be our lucky charm and bring us the good fortune we have been so sorely lacking. Yes, we can already see that you've brought him here for a reason. Over the last few years, our discussions have become somewhat repetitive. Well, mortal, welcome to the council. You must have questions. We're ready to enlighten you. Where am I? The council chamber. This is a small demi-plane, a kind of room outside all other worlds. Yes, I was about to say, kindly given to us by Abadar's attendants from his collection. Suckoth Benoth has turned your closet into a permanent portal. We'll be glad to see you at any time, although I can't promise you'll encounter all the council members every time you show up. I encourage you to not miss the meetings. Who are you? The composition of our group, as you may have noticed, is rather varied. These two beautiful ladies are celestials. In fact, I'm not ashamed to say they're imperial lords. Eritreus and Agathion is the patron of debate. She is the one who actually convened our council. Todali and Azeda is the patron of serendipity. That is right. All points of view are represented in this council. No matter how hostile they are to one another, for this is the only way to achieve the truth. The Abyss is represented on the council by the demon lord Sokobenoth, with whom you are already familiar, and a male branch named Alachino speaks on behalf of Hell. He has failed to attend the meeting yet again. Must have had some urgent matters to attend. The hippogriff proudly pounds his clawed foreleg against his mithril breastplate, which is adorned with Abadar's key. Her eloquent friend, named Cobblohoof, and represents the Axis. And we are Shaika the Many, the eldest from the first world. Jesus, this guy. We can't say we speak on behalf of the entire Fey world, but we can't say the opposite either. What does your council do? I convene the Council of Truth to... Wait. Isn't it the Council of Deliverance? We voted and decided on the Council of Truth. No, we didn't. It was a tie. For the love of everything unholy, would you stop this already? You are confusing our dear guest. Drast, my sweet. This council, whatever its name is, has a single purpose. finding a way to rid Galarian of the world wound. The council was first convened shortly after the wound was opened, and, judging by the fact that you have to lead another crusade, it has not been successful so far. But we're working on it. Sooner or later, we'll triumph. Or not. It depends on which version of the future you perceive. What have you accomplished? Well, let's see. We've discussed the situation thoroughly. Why did you ask me to join the council? We have a common goal. Just like us, you wish to overcome the world wound, and have already achieved some success. Sokoth Banath is right. It's most appropriate for your voice to be heard in this council. We don't expect you to serve up a solution to us on a silver platter. For now, I simply brought you here to introduce you to the council and to bring you, so to speak, into our circle. Wonderful vibrations emanate from you. I feel our fate turning for the better. With a lucky charm like you, we simply cannot help but win. No other questions. In that case, this meeting is adjourned. Drast, welcome to our inner circle. I recommend that you talk to each member of the council informally in a more relaxed setting. When it's time for a new meeting, we'll notify you. Sokoth Banath's penetrating stare seems to see straight through you into your very soul. The Demon Lord chuckles as if he just heard a good joke. I'm so glad we met. Yes, indeed. All these years, I've been looking for someone just like you. Now, you're on the council. The things we're going to do. Sokoth Banath's enthusiasm is contagious. You feel free, playful, and unstoppable, capable of changing the world. The feelings float up from the depths of your soul like bubbles of champagne. Okay. Shika. The creature that stands before you is constantly changing, and only their basic humanoid shape remains the same. Their race, skin color, gender, and age are all shifting continuously, as if you're not looking at a single person, but a whole series of people constantly replacing one another. Hello, Commander. We're very interested to see you. Tell me about yourself. We are Shika. Shika the Many, they call us. We bear the title of the Eldest. You can consider us a deity of the Fey world if you wish. This is not true, but we do not mind. As for what interests us, let's say, we do not find it necessary to walk in step with time. Why are you constantly changing? Everything is changing. Or, more precisely, everything is eternal and unchanging. And perhaps it's only from the perspective of mortal observation that it changes. Do not be offended, but it's difficult to explain this to a creature who lives only in one time, sees only one present, and thinks they are moving toward one future at a constant speed. Let us say that's how we appear to you. May give you a vague idea of how you and your world appear to us. What are your thoughts on the world wound? The wound itself holds no particular interest for us. It's just a rift between planes. This world has seen worse troubles. What's really interesting is all the ways in which it will and won't be closed, and all the youths that will have a chance to perform this feat. Don't you find it boring to live your life knowing the entire past, present, and future of every possible timeline? An amazing question. Of course, an existence in which we observe all the possible versions of the past and future at the same time, as if we're some kind of unchanging crystal, would be deadly dull. Actually, when we allow mortals to view our archives, they usually kill themselves out of boredom when they finish reading. Have you ever heard of a lich named Darokath? Or did he not exist in your time? He was such a bore, or he will be, or will he not be? Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Fortunately, we have an escape. Out of all the blessings granted to immortals, we have kept forgetfulness and absent-mindedness for ourselves. Whenever we have only a faint idea of this time. Instead of looking wistfully at all the times at once, We only recall them as necessary, and thus are always interested. If you exist outside of time, it means you already know the answers to all the questions. Why don't you just tell the council all they need to succeed? We know many answers, this is true, but you have no idea how difficult it is to watch the possibilities, time flows, and parallel branches of reality. What is true in one of them can be wrong in another. Imagine what could happen if we get things mixed up and give you the answers that don't belong to the world in which you live. It would be a terrible confusion. An entire reality might collapse. So don't ask us. We don't do that anymore. Damn. Will I close the world wound? Yes and no. It's all up to you. We won't influence your choice. As it happens, we don't care which of the possible paths you will take, because we see them all. We aren't saying goodbye. Mighty, despite its years, the hippogriff in the mithril breastplate looks down his beak at you. He gazes at you with the wise eyes of a veteran officer. Tell me about yourself. The hippogriff pounds his breastplate loudly and straightens to attention as if on parade. His breastplate is adorned with the holy symbol of Abadar, and he's obviously proud to serve his god. Indeed, he appears to have a high-ranking position among the god's faithful. What are your thoughts on the world wound? The hippogriff growls as if he pretends to put something into his foreleg, and then mimes crushing it with his claw. Do you trust Sokoth Benoth? After all, he is a demon lord. With a furious growl, the hippogriff runs his claw across his throat. He clearly does not view Sokoth Benoth as an ally. Interesting. Jadali just isn't flippant. She's crazy. She infiltrated the council just to infect everyone with her insanity, especially you. Shooting a quick glance at the dark-skinned woman, the hippogriff nods grimly. His mighty claws scratch at the floor with a rasping sound. Jadali. There you are. You see a dark-skinned, middle-aged Verundi woman dressed in yellow silk. White flowers decorate her long black hair. Her cheeks dimple as she smiles. We're so lucky you managed to find us. Would you like a cookie? I made them myself. She hands you a parcel of fragrant cookies. Tell me about yourself. My name's Chidali. Mortals say I'm an imperial lord, and some even worship me. And I try as best as I can not to disappoint them. I heal some, make them stronger. Truth be told, I can't compete with gods. I was born because of a lucky chance when a yellow aura, a lunar eclipse, and a meteor shower happened simultaneously on Elysium. And I liked it so much, existing, that is, that now the only thing I do is share my happiness with others. Eat a cookie. The sweet, fragrant cookie melts on your tongue. The taste of the unfamiliar spices linger in your mouth like a gentle, sunny morning, filling you with hope and joy. What are your thoughts on the world wound? Terrible calamity. It's our duty to fix it. We haven't succeeded yet, but you You will definitely bring us luck. Do you believe in chance? I believe in chance. I create chances. I am chance. Whoever you are, whatever you do, this world wants to help you. Your main task is to trust it and not stand in the way of your own luck. So I don't need to take responsibility for what I do anymore? Just do what I like and chance will clean it up after me? Of course not. How can you say such things? Surely one has to take responsibility for their actions, but without losing faith in chance. Although cleaning up after oneself is mandatory. The world wants to help me with whatever I do. So, for example, if I dream of setting an orphanage on fire and eating all the children? No. Not like that. Do you mean that if a brick falls on my head in the street, it's my fault because I didn't trust chance enough? No. Accidents happen too. It's not your fault. The world wants to help you. It just isn't always able to. But you have to hope for the best anyway. Stop asking me these odious questions. You've ruined my mood. Cobblehoof brings bad luck to the council because he doesn't believe in it. I feel negative vibrations coming from it. This is true. I was hoping he'd come to his senses, but understand that he shouldn't stand in the way of chance, and that our luck can change, even surprise us. But now that you, our lucky charm, are with us, his negative influence could have terrible consequences. It's decided. I must stop him for his own good. Don't worry about him. When he understands why it was necessary, he'll thank me. Sounds like we're sowing chaos within the council. Is there anything in the room we can interact with?
Beautiful.
Doesn't appear so. Curatrice, welcome to the council, Commander. Who are you? Curatrice. I'm what you mortals call an Imperial Lord. My element is truth, the eternal truth, shining through the endless lies. The insights born only through honest, thoughtful debate. You were the one who convened the council? Yes, many have tried to solve the problem of the world wound with weapons, and none have succeeded. I decided to try another way, to do what no one else has tried before. Resolve everything through peaceful negotiations. You're an Imperial Lord, why don't you fight Daskari and Baphomet openly? A victory obtained through brute force doesn't prove anything, and the more blows you deal to Daskari and his followers, the more convinced they are of their rectitude. No, a true victory can only be achieved through honest, unbiased debate. When they see the error of their ways, I don't see that happening, the demons will lay down their weapons. And how successful has your method been so far? Up until now, there have been few successes, but we keep trying. The truth always comes out, sooner or later. What are your thoughts on the world wound? It's a terrible mistake, an aberration in the world order. As with any mistake, it runs the risk of becoming fatal if it isn't fixed in time. And as with any mistake, it can be corrected if the truth that refutes its existence is discovered and made public. The Council is working on fighting this truth. And although the truth has eluded us thus far, we keep trying. I only hope we reach our goal before the damage from the world wound becomes irreversible. Sakoth Banath told me he joined the council just so they could get under your skin. Oh, I know about his feelings quite well. He doesn't conceal them. Alas, above affinity, he is tempted by intimacy, and it does not matter with whom. Whether it's me, Alicino, Cobblepoof. Until now, I assumed that for the common goal of finding the truth, I could turn a blind eye to these destructive inclinations. But you may be right. It is possible that he is the one leading us astray. Have to go. Go, and may your path be lit by the unfading light of eternal truth. The creature's eyes are black voids, and his gaze holds the promise of both incomparable pleasure and endless suffering. He puts a thin finger, a black nail carefully manicured up to his pierced lips, and smiles suggestively. Well, are you glad you accepted my invitation? I, for one, am happy to see you here. Tell me about yourself. Words are so boring. I prefer to show, not tell. But if you'd like to begin our introduction with words, well, I will bow to your wishes. I'm Succoth Benoth, the Demon Lord, prior to the Cathedral Thelmic. I grant my congregation endless joys and pleasures, even if their tastes are frowned upon by the more hypocritical masses. Try to remember something you've always wanted, a desire so shameful you don't allow yourself to even think about it. In my house, it will come true. That and hundreds more things you can't even imagine. Never heard of this demon lord. You are a demon lord. Why aren't you involved in the invasion alongside Dascari and Baphomet? Why would I be? Of course, Baphomet is always a welcome guest in my dominions. Succoth Benoth traces his finger across his lips with a dreamy smile. But the fact that he's such a great lover doesn't mean I'm eager to participate in any of his schemes. Fighting, conquering, seizing by force, blah. All my victories come to me of their own volition, begging to be conquered. What are your thoughts on the world wound? On the one hand, it's the disgusting monstrosity, meaningless carnage. So many boys and girls, mortals and demons, who could be making love to one another or are hacking each other's heads off instead. On the other hand, for a moment, Succoth Benoth's usually playful expression disappears from his face, as if the question has reminded him of something unpleasant. Stammering, he finishes quickly. On the other hand, the more chaos, the more opportunities. So the world wound is a source of opportunities for what? Let's say set this conversation aside for now, all in good time. Succoth Benoth's face darkens for a moment, but then with visible effort, he fixes his charming smile back in place, and the playful note returns to his voice. I will make sure you don't miss anything interesting, I promise. Why did you invite me to the council? You can be sure that I have plans for you, but now is not the time. When the moment comes, I will share them with you, and I'm certain you will like what I have in mind. For now, though, go mingle. I did introduce you into high society of a sort. Hey, Shrock. Yes, I did get the Hell Knights. And Regil is a potentially permanent part of my party. You are handsome. How about spending some time alone with me? Tempting the tempter? Succoth Benoth reaches for your face, but his fingers stop a hair's breadth from your skin. With a sigh, he reluctantly draws his hand. Believe me, I've been dreaming about it from the moment I saw you. But if we rush into this, it might interfere with my plans. Let's refrain from for now. Dream of me. It will make everything sweeter once the dreams come true. I like the Hell Knight companion, Regil, as well. A little more on the harsh side than I would be, but it is what it is. I don't think Cobblehoof likes you. To him, you're just another demon. I know. He sees our alliance as temporary. He will strike us as soon as I give him cause. However, I'll always be one step ahead of him, because I don't need a cause to strike. Iritrice tried to drag me into some conspiracy. She's plotting something. I think she invited you to the council to lure you into a trap. Really? Sarkophanos' black void eyes turn in her direction. He gazes contemptuously at the lion-headed woman in the white and gold robe, lingering on the curve of her breasts. This scraggy cat deems herself a lioness and thinks she can set the council against me. The one I recommended she convene? Let her try. You'll hear how she meows. Where are you going? You should stay a little longer. The demon blows you a kiss. I have no idea what to make of all this.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay. Okay, so how do I get out? Oh, really? How do I get out? There it is.
Here we go.
But so far, still, Ember is my favorite companion, character-wise. That's right, we leveled up as well in that last fight. Okay. My face is so cold without a beard. How you doing today, Shirok? Are you off work today? Your days off are Sunday and Wednesday, right? Wait, who was this? Oh, that was Sozios, I think. Okay. Phantasmal web. Okay, that could be interesting. Dominate person. Hungry pit. Hmm. Can't decide between hungry pit or hold monster. Let's see. Enduring spells. Abundant casting. Okay. Okay. We'll try the clustered shots. Breath of life, without a doubt. Breath of the light is kind of amazing. Wow. Okay. Forced repentance. Sorry, the wife and kid were leaving and needed to discuss a couple things. Okay. We'll do one of each and we'll try them out. Let's see. Old person. Righteous might. Okay. No need to do spell slots for them or them. Okay. Let's go ahead and rest. Just magic missile. What was that? Oh, wow. Let's go to the inn.
Got this one.
Give me them goodies.
I can handle it.
One old Kellid told this my brothers and me on his deathbed, and then he died, and no one knows us, but no one but us knows. I know this is their sacred forest. They prayed to the meadow of the spirits. Shamanic relics, you say? A big treasure? Sounds like a lie. Everything was collected, carried away, and buried in that cave. The scouts say a bear lives in those forests. A terrible one. There must be magic guards in the cave. That's why we suggest you come with us. We'll split the treasure equally. Sounds like we're gonna have to beat them there. Lure. Anywho. So, the experiment. I will need some supplies for this one. Boy, please bring me a bottle of alcohol. Any will do. And please hurry up. Science can't wait. I brought you a bottle of alcohol for you. Why would you need alcohol? I already told you it's for an experiment. Hurry up and bring it to me. What kind of experiment? This will be an experiment of a personal nature. No less exciting for that, mark my words. Why don't you go buy a bottle yourself? I'm busy with an extremely important task, mentally preparing myself for the experiment. Besides, a task like this is a perfect fit for my loyal follower. Brought a bottle of alcohol for you. Nino snatches the bottle out of your hands and stares at it with all the covetousness of a seasoned alcoholic. Here it is. My path to learning the true values of humanity from the perspective of the lowliest man on the street. She produces a corkscrew from her sleeve and looks at it in bafflement. Then at the bottle. Then at the corkscrew again. After a while, she hands the bottle back to you. Open it. This experiment definitely won't work if we don't open it. You always carry a corkscrew up your sleeve? Don't be preposterous. But I'm always meticulous when it comes to preparing for my experiments. I plan for every eventuality. Alright, I admit it, that's not true. But I have truly prepared for this particular experiment. What's this experiment going to be about? I'm taking a huge risk with this experiment. I'm putting my reputation, my good name, and even my future on the line. With the help of this bottle, I will lower myself to the level of the average man on the street, and I will try to understand the mentality of someone who's devoid of intelligence. You're talking as if you never tried alcohol before. I haven't. Never saw the point of it. So you're asking me to be your drinking buddy? Not at all. I'll do the drinking alone. Your role in this experiment will include standing there and providing me with a visible reaction to my inevitable temporary degradation. There we go. Let's get started. Well, let's begin. With the steely resolve of a warrior going into his last battle, Ninio takes a big gulp straight from the bottle. Ah, what? That's disgusting. How do you all drink this? I am doing this for the sake of science. Another gulp. Oh, that should be enough. Am I stupid yet? Quick. Ask me about something smart. How many heroic acts did Iomade perform? 11, of course. She did all manner of things. Turned her cloak into a bridge. Created a powerful artifact out of nowhere. Using just her broken sword and a bit of prayer. And even talked some undead into throwing himself upon his sword. By the way, did you know that if you question the authenticity of these acts in the center of Iomede's cathedral in Nerosian, you can get a boot-shaped bruise right on your lower back? It would seem I'm not drunk enough yet. Right. It seems to be working now. I need to come up with an idea right now. I usually have tons of ideas. Let's see. Ascari and Baphomet. Their anti-Crusader alliance is not effective enough. They need to unite their forces on the physical level. Baphomet needs to mount Ascari and ride him into battle, 2 in 1. Yes, the experiment was successful. I'm definitely drunk. She takes another gulp from the bottle to further confirm her condition. So how does it feel to be drunk for the first time in your life, from a scientific point of view? Terrific. I have definitely become more stupid. More than that, I'm as dumb as a box of rocks, and right now, I don't give a rat's ass about science. Wait, I think I've got it. That's how men on the street see science? I don't give a rat's ass about it. Who cares how many heroic acts Iomade performed? 1 million or not a single one? Iomade is over there. Ninio says with a vague wave of her hand, whereas the bottle is right here, where it belongs. Congratulations. Satisfied now? Incredible. My intellect never stood a chance in its battle with alcohol. What's more striking, this fact doesn't bother me at all. It was like all the thoughts in my head just went poof and disappeared. My thirst for knowledge, my desire to prove myself, they're all gone. My mind is so calm. It's actually a little frightening. I simply must describe this condition from my encyclopedia, but I'll get to that later. I just don't feel like it right now. You're not going to drink like a fish from now on, are you? What? Of course not. How could you think that about me? Me, the greatest scientist of modern times. Fine, maybe. A little bit, sometimes. No more than once a year. And only if no one sees me. I've got a reputation to maintain. Congratulations, I guess. Now what? That's it for now. The experiment was a success. Just a moment. Ninio stares at you with glazed eyes, shaking her head, and exhales loudly. All right, I'm fine now. What was that? What was what? A moment ago, you were drunk as a skunk, and now all of a sudden, you're stone cold sober. Is that so? It seems that is indeed what happened. Clearly, I decided to forget the incident entirely, because I no longer need this information. What I need now is to write an article for the encyclopedia about the influence that alcohol has on an individual's mind. So you can simply forget you were drunk and sober up, just like that. I have simply blocked the delirious effect of alcohol from my mind. Put it in basic terms, I just forgot I'd consumed alcohol. I don't think that's how alcohol works. The mechanism is similar to the one I used to get rid of irrelevant memories. It's not overly complicated if you know how to do it. Your abilities are just amazing. What? What were we talking about? Alright. On behalf of future generations, I formally thank you for your assistance in this momentous experiment. Now I have time to answer your questions. I remember my first beer.
Can't make the demons wait.
Okay. One-eyed devil. A short, chubby tiefling with a golden eye patch spits chewing tobacco between his feet and takes another pinch from a tobacco box adorned with jewels. Fine day to you, Commander. Welcome to the One-Eyed Devil's trading house. His proud manner suggests that each word begins with a capital letter, and even, perhaps, continues. Perhaps even continues in capital letters as well. Trading house, it's just a shop. Ah, that depends. There was a time when I had nothing in my pockets but holes. Did I consider myself poor? No. I considered myself a rich man who was temporarily down on his luck. Optimism is important not only on the battlefield, Commander. We are the leader of a victorious army that will be chopping all the demons into mincemeat sooner or later. I'm the owner of a trade empire, which, as you see, is only starting to grow. How did a tiefling end up on the side of the Crusaders? Look who's talking. Because we're a tiefling. Admit it, you're just tired of answering that same stupid question, so you found another tiefling to bother with it. The answer is simple. The simplest thing there is. This is a good world, and I like living in it. Besides, it's the only one we've got, and I'd love to know what's going on in the heads of the dimwits who are helping the demons destroy it. My best guess is that their horns grow inward, so there's no room for brains. I'm from Cheliax. Tieflings don't surprise anyone there, and they don't like demons any more than we do here. And why should they? The gods went to all the trouble of creating this world. Even Lord Asmodeus and his devils helped with the construction. And now these freeloaders show up after all the hard work is done, just to gorge and break things. It doesn't matter who you pray to. If you want to live, it's your duty to help. Isn't that a risky name for a store for Crusaders? Ah, yes. A week doesn't go by without some dimwit bowling over. Well, they don't pay me to explain the difference between allies and enemies, devils and demons, Lord Asmodeus and all the riffraff like Baphomet and Dascari, so they can go. The tiefling spits between his feet and swiftly places another pinch of chewing tobacco in his mouth. Here's what I think. You like it, you buy it. If you don't like it, keep moving. If you're spoiling for a fight, take yourself off to the tavern. Why are your prices so high? We're saving the world from demons, and that includes you. That's some claim. Did you hear that, good people? First of all, my prices are perfectly fair. They're no higher than you'd find anywhere else. Second, who's saving who here? Are you prepared to eat bark and fight with rocks and sticks? You know, I have open contracts with dozens of suppliers. I arrange deliveries and do whatever it takes to get you sharper weapons, better magical items, better food, and you're throwing extra expense in my face? This is the thanks I get for honest work. What happened to your eye? Yeah, should make up a story about a heroic fight with a horde of demons. Truth be told, this is how it happened. Back when I was a snot-nosed kid, I just opened my first business selling pies in the street. The local lads quickly took notice of me and offered me protection in return for a small share of my profits. The usual, you know. But I was so young, inexperienced, and greedy, so I told them to bugger off. Well, they caught me and taught me a lesson. They took it too far, though. I paid for the lesson with my eye, not just bumps and bruises. It's funny to remember it now, but back then, while it was happening, I was so scared. I thought they'd beat me to death. I remember I came running home in tears. My mom just started screaming. I didn't have a clue why. And then I looked in the mirror and saw they were just shreds and mush where one of my eyes should be. I remembered that lesson all my life. Ever since that day, when I start a business, I find some reliable business partners first. I'd been born in a merchant family. My parents would have warned me about this, and about plenty of other things too. But I was a poor lad, so I had to learn everything the hard way. A miracle how many times I escaped death by a hair's breadth. In fact, it's lucky all I lost was an eye. I can afford a new eye now, of course, but just can't find the time. It will cost a tidy sum, and I don't want to take it out of the earnings. And besides, being the one-eyed devil is a big selling point for me. I'd be a fool to get my eye back, only to have to keep it hidden under a patch. Have you heard about my new powers? What do you make of them? People are saying that you've got fortune on your side. When your enemies fire arrows at you, the wind blows them away. When enemies raise their swords against you, they slip and fall in the mud at your feet. Just think of the terrors that hunted you in the abyss. Yet you laugh them off, and your laughter brings good luck to others. You give bizarre orders and gamble on 1,000 to 1 chance, but that's exactly what comes to pass. I think it sounds delusional. You can't win wars on luck alone, but you can pretend to be stupid so no one figures out your strategy. That's what I do. I tell you one thing for certain. I'll never play cards or dice with you. All right. Hold up. Oh, I thought that was a rapier. Never mind. can't this be equipped by her? That works. Let's see, Soziel. Agile. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. You want to buy some nail clippings? Why not? Show me the money first, though. Certainly. Tiefling gives you some gold coins, then wraps your nail clippings in paper and stows them in one of the purses hanging from his belt. Okay. Infiltrator's arm. It's 2 armor. Okay. Little deals silver damage. Interesting. Holy rapier, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if we can, if this is actually an improvement for him. Okay. Jewelry artisan.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. Oh, we're going to sell that. Welcome to the shop of Derek Sunheimer, the finest jewelry in all of Mendev. True artistry, crafted by the master himself and his apprentices. Take a look. Okay. Or by price. Okay. Nothing of any interest here. Oh, diamonds by one. For now. All right. Okay. The N. What's back here? This is huge. Love it. Darren got disengaged. I win. Up, John. By the Tavern Keeper. The boy sitting on the counter looks about 18. He salutes you with dignity, though his eyes scarcely rise from the tavern's ledger. The night commander at my establishment. What an honor. My name is Phi Kitto. I'm the owner of the Half Measure. How should I address you? That's because some don't like undue familiarity, while others scoff at the tediousness of ceremony and titles. Are my title. As you wish, Commander. What can I do for you? Wine, a meal, a heart-to-heart talk? How is it that such a young lad owns a tavern? Before the seas of Dresden, the half measure belonged to a distant relative. I won't bore you with the details of how his family died. Just 3 words. Demon worshippers and sacrifice should be enough. Long lad. He's a longer. Now that the city has been liberated, the authorities and Iomede's church will be returning what remains to the lawful heirs of the deceased. They take these things seriously in Mendev. Started talking about the end, and I remembered. Wanted to thank you for personally defeating the demon in this very tavern when the city was liberated. Without you, who knows how many glasses he would have smashed before the Crusaders got to him. But please accept my thanks from the bottom of my heart. Knockoff DC characters? Wait, what? Half Measure is a strange name for a tavern. Oh, that's a family story. We got money for that. It's not for the faint-hearted, but you're one of those. Not one of those, are you? One day, before the ward stones were erected, a peasant family got lost on their way to the fair and ended up near the borders of the World Wound. They stumbled upon a bored demon who killed the father right away. He then asked the mother if she preferred him to take all her children or only half of them. The sobbing woman looked at her 3 darlings and said, half. The demon promptly cut off the arms and legs of all 3 children and said, I guess that's even, and disappeared. Sounds like Aqualad. Ah. But honestly, who cares about DC characters? People across Dresden heard this story after the family found shelter at the local temple of Iomade. For many years, they saved up for a regeneration spell so the children could be made whole again. They eventually scraped together enough for just 1 scroll and decided to give it to the youngest child, a second chance at life. He soon became the tavern's first owner and called it the Half Measure in memory of his family and the terrible incident with the demon. He had a good life for a time, got himself married, and always planned to help his brother and sister, though he never got a proper chance. When the demons had Dresden surrounded, the poor cripples tried to run for their lives, but they died on the spot. The brother and his wife died a little later at the hands of visitors. There were rumors that the same demon that butchered the family came to Dresden and made a den of the half measure. If that's true, I guess he got what he deserved when you freed the city. That's the story. Why do you like sitting on the counter? 2 reasons. Dresden is the biggest city, but it still has a few taverns and pubs. To compete with the others, I need people to remember my establishment and myself. That's the first reason. A tavern keeper who sits on the counter definitely sticks out from the others who prefer to stand behind their bars, all dignified. Believe me, you're not the first one to ask. Sooner or later, every customer does. The second reason is the place's atmosphere. People should feel relaxed here. Life near the World Wound is hard enough. People don't go to taverns looking to cause each other more trouble, so I allow certain liberties, myself included. I'm even thinking of hosting an invigorating brawl here on the 5th of every month. I'll let my favorite customers break glasses and swing on the chandelier. What's the feeling here in the city? I can only tell you about my customers. They're mostly working folks, the ones who are rebuilding what's been destroyed, along with soldiers and some merchants. Overall, spirits are high as they can be in Mendev, nation of rattling sabers and fluttering banners. Everyone loves it when the demons get their horns, tails, and other parts handed to them. They've already forgotten that we nearly lost Canabras. War is like that. People live for one day, and that day is tomorrow, not yesterday. You've been the source of joy and inspiration for everyone as well. A simple lad, leading the fight against the demons and defeating them, and running rings round all the arrogant knights. Try this again. And running rings around all the arrogant queen's knights. People like stories like that. What makes you think I'm a simple lad? If you're a foreign prince in disguise, drop me a hint or two, will you? That'll give me time to work on my bowing and scraping. For when you finally decide to reveal your true identity to the world. What do your customers say about my new powers? They say you're crazy. They write songs about other military leaders, but they tell jokes about you. They also say you always come out of the battle unscathed, and so that do the folks who follow you. They may laugh at you, but it comes from a good place. People believe in your luck, and everyone wants a piece of it. Of course, there's also a lot of superstitious chatter. Some say you're Fae, maybe even one of the eldest disguised as a mortal. Others say you're the son of Desna, or perhaps Kalen Kaylee. One of the crusaders from the Tianzia swears that you're Sun Wukong, the Monkey King himself. Let's see what you have to offer. 90% of productivity is tomorrow. Exactly, that's what he's saying. People live for tomorrow, not yesterday. Mulled wine. Do I not have any purifying solution? I got a little bit. But all to me. Spices, we have 15. Plenty of flame tongue. Don't see any flour. Plenty of mutated fish. Onions, we have a little bit of. Painted fowl. But all. Butter. Cheese. Eggs, we only have a little of. Give me all the rice. Sweet wine. Goggles of Malochio. +10 to perception. Whenever the wearer confirms a critical hit with any bow, the target becomes disoriented for 1d4 rounds. Oh, my. You see a fox? Actually, I believe they're a sorcerer. No, I think they were a wizard, actually. Yeah. Yeah, they were a wizard, not a sorcerer. Yeah, wizard, scroll savant. Yeah, he's got those beer goggles on.
Let's see what we can do.
Greybor.
How can I help you?
Who are you?
Don't you remember our last meeting? The name is Greybor. I'm an assassin for hire. But I suspect you're not here for small talk. Are you in need of my services?
You tried to kill that huge demon at the Battle of Dresden, but you failed. What happened?
Yes, that was a failure. It was supposed to be a clean job. An anonymous client, a worthy target, a substantial fee. But the client insisted that I use an enchanted dagger they provided. I was assured that a single hit would be enough to finish the job, but it didn't work as expected. It was a serious blow to my reputation. And my reputation is everything to me.
Sounds like it was a competitor that did it. Want to hire you for a dragon hunt.
A large adult female? The one that's been snatching people and carrying them off? I've heard about her. That's an impressive target. I can take this job, but only if we do it soon. I'm expecting a new assignment from my regular client, and I'll have to leave as soon as I have the orders. And of course, you should know that this dragon will not come cheaply. 2,500 gold, paid in advance.
How about a small discount?
Let's think this through. Are there lots of assassins in this town who have the valuable experience of subduing dragons and are willing to work for you? Will I lose any profit by protracted haggling? Will you? Is there any chance that someone less competent than I am will be able to locate your target as efficiently as I would? No, I don't think so. There is absolutely no reason for me to give you any discounts. 2,500 gold is an
Worth a
honest
shot.
price for the head of a fire breather. Excellent. Let's get down to business. It's no easy thing to take down a dragon when you don't
think?
have wings, so you'll need to follow my lead. The best thing would be to catch her by surprise in her lair, but we need to find it first. Of course, since she doesn't leave tracks, that might be tricky, but I think I have a solution. We need to go west of Dresden, to the Grimwood Forest. The dragon's been seen there often. According to the scouts, this is likely because there's still some wild game left in those parts. We'll set up an ambush there.
Okay.
I hope I can rely on your honesty. I understand that on our way to the dragon, there may be other fights or places we need to visit for various reasons. That's to be expected. However, should I see that you are deliberately delaying the contract, or that you're dragging me off to assault some demon citadel instead of going after the dragon, we will have to revise the terms of our agreement.
Okay. I like that guy. Okay. Now, there's a race in the game called Kitsune, which is basically a fox, which is what you see in the as a companion. And she can shift between human and fox form. You literally played a fox. Okay. Fergus. Are you aware of my special powers? Do you even have those? When I first heard of the rumors, I thought you had learned how to fly or incinerate people with your eyes, or something like that. Now that I see you, looks like cantrips to me. There's a lot of preposterous rumors about you circulating around the city. Say that Lady Luck favors you in a special way, that no matter what nonsense you say or do, you always come out on top. This does indeed sound like a useful skill. If you're the ringmaster of a traveling circus, that is. In my opinion, a true marshal needs something more impressive. Can the Everbright Crusaders be of service? Morveg, keep it to yourself. If you keep interrupting your elders, you'll be mucking about the stables for a week. A few questions. About me? Seer Coblin? Or me, the glorious Everbright Crusader and the leader of my order. Leader of the order, also known as Sir Dandelion. Morveg, you insolent Kellid whelp. Show some respect for your mentor's age, or do you think you'll never grow old yourself? I don't know about your past. About my life before the order? It was so long ago. As a boy, I decided there was too much evil in the world. Someone had to do something about it, try to fix it. I decided to become a priest. But then I saw the Everbright Crusaders, so proud, so pure. And then someone next to me said, "What arrogant snobs." And he was right. We Everbright Crusaders are actually a little arrogant. So I thought maybe these invincible snobs could use the help and companionship of such a simple and warm-hearted lad like myself. Who knew what years later I would become their leader. Tell me about your order. The Everbright Crusaders are not the oldest order, but our traditions are solid. For us, fighting the world wound is not a war, it's our service. We dedicate our lives to it, and also our souls. We have high standards and live under many restrictions. We have no families, drink no liquor, play no games of chance, accumulate no wealth, and own no lands, even if we were entitled to them by birth. Sounds like you live a horrible life. So they're actually the ever so not bright Crusaders, maybe. We reject everything that distracts us, that draws us to a peaceful life. For our hearts are always turned to war. War is a grim, ugly thing that makes wicked everyone who takes part in it. And we keep our hearts pure so that we are not left sickened by war, so that our light does not fade, because darkness can only be overcome by light. I'm not sure that's how psychology works. That kind of makes you a sociopath. Who's the lad that keeps following you around? This is Morveg. He's a Kellid from these parts. When the world wound opened, his family was forced to flee. What a life they had. Poor, always hungry, cast aside by the world. When they didn't have any bread, they fed on rage and vengeance. We caught this boy on the road. He was walking north to Dresden to kill demons. Dirty, gaunt, just looking at him made you want to weep. We picked him up, trained him. He is hot-headed and lacks discipline, but he's also smart and brave. When I look at him, I see the future of the Everbright Crusaders.
Here we go.
Morveg? Who are you? Family used to live here in Sarkoris. The world wound forced us to flee, made us homeless. Yeah. When I heard of another crusade had been declared, I came here to fight the demons and claim vengeance for the homeland of my ancestors. What do you think of CR? He's got a big heart. He picked me up, gave me food and clothes. Took me on as an apprentice. Although I was no one to him. You know, us vagabonds don't often come across generosity like that. Is it CR or care? I think it's care. It's kind to me. But my master's true nature is soft. He doesn't understand that it's impossible to keep your soul pure when you fight demons. We Kelids of Socorus have learned this bitter truth. We know that any means are justified for fighting demons. The Kier can't see that we're right. We paid for the privilege of hindsight with a sea of blood and the loss of our homeland.
I can handle it.
Those you? Nothing new with you. Let's go to the prison. Oh, let's talk to Ember first. Nothing new here. Let's check out the Sierra, maybe? Sierra? It could go either way. Looks like they patched up that wall. Nothing else down here. Grandma. Nothing new. Looks like they're getting bigger, though. Bigger troop.
Can't make the demons wait. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let's see what we can do. Here we go. I can handle it.
All right. Anything in the case?
Can't make the demons wait.
Seems like we're mostly picking up reagents, which are perfectly fine with me. Nothing to do with land.
Beautiful.
Okay. Elam. Commander.
Let's see what we can do. Here we go.
Nada.
I can handle it.
Arsenio. The same priest we had in the first game.
Can't make the demons wait.
Brave of Staunton Vane, traitor of the Crusades. This has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from the corruption abyss. Perhaps you've heard about the wound that sometimes opens in my chest. Are you familiar with this kind of element? So the wound was right here, and then disappeared, and reappeared. Amazing. No, this is the first time I've heard of such magic. What do you think it might be? I think it's some kind of demonic corruption, where particles of chaos from the abyss have entered through the wound in your body and made it so unstable. It sounds quite interesting, and incidentally, judging from the records of researchers of the abyss, stranger things have happened in this cursed place. Are we doing over-under bets for how long for the beard to grow back? It's going to take a while to get back to where we were. My hair grows slowly. Can you give me some advice on how to heal it? I'm sure that you've already used the purification and chaos warding spells, and for obvious reasons, you do not have the option of leaving the campaign and going on a long pilgrimage to various shrines. Since that's the case, keep a diary. Make careful and systematic entries about your well-being. If it gets worse, record the circumstances under which it happens. I'm afraid this is the only advice I can offer right now. 4 months? To the length we had? No. I'd say it'd probably be closer to 8 months before we get back to the length we shaved off. I want you to try to heal me. Sorry, but I do not have the right to do that. A healer who makes a blind attempt to heal a patient who is not on the verge of death is an irresponsible fool. You do not seem to be dying, so we will not take any unnecessary risks. Yeah, it grows very slow for me. And we know about Abadar. How did you end up in Dresden? My story has grown longer and longer over the years, yet sadly, it never gets any more interesting. I was born and raised in Absalom. Soon I realized that bringing the world of Abadar to places where it already has been heard was too easy of a challenge for a cleric like me. I've traveled all across Galarian since then, watching civilization bring enlightenment to the wildest of places. This brings joy to my heart and makes me feel like I serve my God with my deeds, not only with my words. I'm not sure what the vitamins are. I think it's vitamin E, but I'm not sure. The tiny barony of the stolen lands that had been my home for a very long time eventually turned into a strong and prosperous kingdom. That's from the first game. And I felt that I had to go somewhere else and bring the blessing of Abadar to someone who really needed it. It would take a long time for Dresden to recover and become an unfailing stronghold once again. I'll do my very best to help. You're an Aasimar, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, I am an Aasimar. Hard to miss, isn't it? I look exactly like my great-great-grandmother. But I am the only one among my kin to have Aasimar blood manifest so visibly in my appearance. I have to admit, that's a very fortunate coincidence. My Aasimar features are rather appealing and make people trust me more easily. This is a good quality to have for a priestess wishing to gather a congregation. Vitamin B. Is there a particular B vitamin, or does I take quite a bit of B6 and B12 already? See that you have consecrated the altar of Abadar. So I have. Before you ask me why I did this, well, there's a temple of Iomedae in Dresden. I will answer. Even though my god is the ally of the inheritor, some still prefer to pray and trust in Abadar instead of her. After all, my humble altar is no worse at removing the corruption of the abyss than the grandiose altar in the temple of Iomedae. Precisely why I'm here. All right. I think I've already know this one. Yeah, you already know this recipe. Mushrooms cause elemental essence we are light on. That's using almost all the potion crafting, if not all. You know what? Grab all those. All those. Some of these. All of these. Shamanic Relics. Okay. Ring of Pyromania. Okay. Half of the pair. That'd be good for my character in Regil. So how do I get him to use scroll? Let's see. I don't know. Okay, even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them, I'll be happy to read it for you right here. So, how do I get him to do that? Are you going to manage the fortress now? No way, Commander. Not in a million years. I can manage an expedition just fine, but running a fortress is a different kettle of fish. It's enough work to make a man's head explode. Which is why they sent us an expert from Nerosian. Her name is Georgelinda Strangehold. I've seen how she handles things. She knows what she's about, that one. Iomade, bless her. She'll be managing the fortress, and I'll keep taking care of the soldiers, just like I have been doing. Stay. Speed. Extra attack. That's kind of badass, but we don't have the money for it, it seems.